hey, hey, hey. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. It is time for refreshing convos. Let's see who's going to be up in this thing. I am Miss Marianna 365. For those of you who are new, so I always say, and I will continue to always say, that I don't need fans, but I do need appreciators, because fans go round and round, they come and go, but appreciators, they're there for a lifetime. So who's the first person up in this thing? Proper, Roger, I see y'all. It's time for refreshing combos, and we have a special guest for tonight. So we're going to let that notification go out. For those of you who are new to maybe Refreshing Convos or Miss Marianna just in general, basically Refreshing Convos started off because I do mental health, and it's initially out of concern for people's minds, people's hearts, right? Especially brown people of color in the community, in the hood. And I started doing this Refreshing Convos because I realized it's great that I do consultation and one-on-one session with people, because the mentals and the emotionals be crazy. We be out here catching cases and getting into a lot of stuff. But I realized, it's one thing to have one-on-one sessions and training and all the development and things that I do, but it's another thing to just sit in on a conversation on what it looks like and what it feels like and how it sounds to just witness safe spaces, right? I think a lot of the times, if it's not your cousin or your auntie or your best friend or your lover, it's kind of difficult to connect and feel comfortable. So going into clinical environments with people that, aren't from our cultures, aren't from where we're from, we ain't trying to talk about mental and emotional health, right? And so despite there's a variety of ways that it can show up, I figured, let me start doing something called Refreshing Combos, where we could talk about, mental health, emotional health, how people come to what they come to. And I have special guests every time. I've had professional, psychologists, I've had comedians, I've had dancers, I've had pro soccer players, I've had, people from all kind of backgrounds. And that's important to me because, especially when it comes to, communities of African descent, communities of color, we just don't know how that shows up, right? We don't know what that looks like or feels like, or how to make it, comfortable. So I am very, very excited about the guest that I have tonight. I randomly came across him on the internets. That's the one thing about internet. You can get exposed to people from all around the world. And it was crazy because before I bring him on, the quick way that I came across him is I saw him one day. He was in the airport. He was doing some traveling, which it appears he does a lot of traveling. And I was tripping because, he looked really disturbed, and I could tell he was in the airport. And, the individual in the airport was like bugging, right? Like, I guess he zoned in on him, and, and the first thing I heard or remember hearing him say was like, "You don't see anybody with drip like this? You don't see anybody else with drip like this? Of course, those are my bags." So clearly he was being questioned, and he had just a interesting look to him, right? So, after seeing this whole interaction, and we'll get his insight on that situation, I went to his page. I found out he's a hip hop, fashion artist, and he has an amazing eclectic presentation. And it just made me think about a lot of, Black folks and people of color who just express differently, right? And how, we're not this monolithic experience. Like, we're all over the world, and we show up and we present and we perform and we share in different ways, right? Go ahead and add me, brother, so I can bring you in on the conversation. And it made me think about, blurs, right? Black nerds or Black gothics or, Black, whatever it is, in just people of color who express differently, and not the way that we are either told or assumed we should show up, and how that gets questioned even more, right? So it's one thing for this individual to be, a Black man, a male, but then also because he was expressing himself so differently, in some readings, it'll probably get a lot of positive attention, but then also mentally and emotionally, what does that do when that's not accepted by society, right? So the special guest that I have today, his name is Lamb. Legend already made, if you want to look him up. An eclectic brother with style, definitely a fashion trendsetter. But I have a feeling just from doing my research and watching him, like regardless if you even without the fashion, just seems like to be an interesting person. So we're gonna have our refreshing convos this evening. We're gonna talk about his journey into realizing who he is, getting into his fashion and style, but the trials and tribulations and how he deals with his mental and emotional health, being the iconic type of style brother that he is. So let me go ahead and add this brother in here and get this going, because I think it's something that a lot of us will find very interesting and intriguing in terms of mental health, emotional hygiene, and how that shows up for our young brothers. Hey, there he is. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, superstar? It's
I'm
Mariana, right?
awesome. I'm awesome. Yes, it's Marianna. All the A's are I's. So you said it right. You
All
said
right.
it right. Now I know
They,
you're different and you sideways in my camera. Do I need to go sideways too, or you
I
gonna
know
come
I'm like, how?
sideways? We could. You
I
sideways
got
in the
the
camera. That's all right.
I
You'll
wanna.
just be the first guest rocking it sideways. It's very appropriate for you. It's all
You
good.
sure it's not like it's not awkward? I wonder
If you
how I could get
can,
it to
you can switch it. If not, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. I'm
I'm,
not tripping
I'm
one
thinking like,
bit.
how could I get it to stand up like straight?
I
Cause
don't know.
like I got it on my thing.
I feel like that fits your personality. You just coming in sideways on fools. You just coming in sideways. Anyway, so one of the first things I ask everybody just randomly to make it comfortable is, what did you eat today? We all got to eat to live. What you eat today?
Oh man, I really haven't. I just ate like a sandwich.
You
I
just
just
ate
really
like a
just ate like a
sandwich today.
sandwich.
You got energy? You got
Yeah.
energy for this interview?
See, I got energy, but I've been eating like too much stuff during Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
So it's like I just kind of wanted to like chill on eat. I ate some ginger. I
Okay,
ate
I'm
some
not mad
ginger.
at you. There is nothing wrong with the detox.
Yeah.
I think all of us need a detox after the last few days that most people have had. So it's all good. It's all good. So did you hear my
I'm in,
introduction or did you just jump right on?
I just jumped on.
Okay, okay. Walk away smiling. Say you're coming in sideways. It's okay. This is gonna be a good hour conversation. We're gonna flip it upside down and get all perspectives, right? Um, so first of all, thank you for just being willing to do this conversation. You
Not
know,
so.
we got to dispel some of those myths around mental and emotional health, especially when it comes with Black people. And I
Yeah.
was describing, to folks as they're coming on, the way I came across who you are. And it was from this
Yeah.
video that was going viral of you in the airport. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So I want your perspective and your words, because you were emotional. It hit you. I mean, honestly, your authenticity and your emotions seem so real. I was like, who is this cat? So can you explain to viewers what that experience was? I think it's a perfect way to start this conversation that we're going to have today.
Yeah. I usually don't. I usually don't even react like that.
Okay.
But like, I feel like it was the climate of the air, like everything that was going on,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it just it's like it was like a catharsis in a way, like a cleanse,
Right.
like a purge of emotion. Because I'm not like this quintessential like typical tough guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just me, so I don't care about crying, and I don't care if people
Right.
see me cry or nothing. But it's not like I'm just about to just cry to cry.
Right.
It's
Right.
like I was like, why am I crying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like why has God allowed me to cry? Like, why is this happening? Like I was like in a blur, because like I usually get a lot of love, and that's not the first time that a situation like that happened to me. But I kind
Yeah.
of just like suppress it and just like push it away. But
Okay.
for some reason this day it was just, I don't know, like I was leaving New York, and
Okay.
so many great things was happening to me
Yeah.
while I was in New York, and I was seeing so many new and uplifting things, and just having so many like challenging conversations that were
Hmm.
stimulating and culminating me.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I think a lot of those conversations, and I think a lot of that energy just like went in me. And
Mm.
I feel like I was crying for like people instead of just me. You
Right.
know, because it's
Right.
like I was tired. Like I felt like I was. Can we cuss? No, right?
Hell
No.
yeah, this refreshing combos. You get to be who the hell you want to be.
Sometimes I was just tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like I'm tired of this shit, yo. Like
Yeah.
what is this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like why can't I charge my phone? Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like why you bothering me when like I said everybody else is around, but you ain't say nothing to them, but you've been watching me and I peeped you watch me. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
my stuff, it's not like I left my stuff downstairs or nothing. I left my stuff literally like 5 feet away from me. Like, who
Okay.
else stuff is that? That's my stuff. You watched me put
Right.
my stuff. I seen you here earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, even after that, like
Yeah.
the managers came and did the same shit to me, but I didn't record it. Like I just left it alone. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even
Right.
gonna put this shit on social media or whatever. And then
Yeah.
I say, you know what? Before my flight comes, I'm gonna just put this shit on social media just to show motherfuckers that this positive lamb, like the positive lamb, legend already made hip hop fashion artist. That's you know, God is always blessing and beautiful things has
Yeah.
always happened to me behind the
Yeah.
scenes. This is the fuck shit that happened. I hope y'all know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just wanted to
Right.
show y'all that. You know, so I put it out there. I usually, like I said, I usually don't do that, but I said I don't know for some reason, God allowed me to just feel that
Yeah.
type of feeling and put it out there, and
Yeah.
I put it out there. I boarded my flight. And as soon as I landed in Nashville, everybody was hitting me up. Yo, you going viral? Shit like that.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's how I discovered you. And I think there was something it was something pure about it, right? I mean, a lot of things online aren't always authentic, should be staged, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that's
Yeah.
staged for reaction and things like that. And when I saw it, I was like, those feel like real tears. Like that feels like a real,
Yeah.
like pure moment. And first of all, just like you said, for a brother to share and express, that's one thing. But to be in the middle of it, and we're seeing these moments all across the nation, we're just being in your blackness, however that shows up in any environment, is questioned. And I think the reason why I wanted to kind of start the conversation like this is because you rock your style everywhere you go, as far as for what I see. So I know that
Yeah.
people being curious about you isn't new, but we know the difference
Yeah.
between being discriminated against and someone being curious.
Yeah.
Like we can tell, right? And it was one of those moments
Yeah.
where the person didn't believe that you had a boarding pass and didn't believe those bags were yours. And it's like, this isn't about you being curious about my style. This is about underneath this, I'm a black man.
Yeah.
And I think we just need more safe spaces. And that's why we do refreshing combos, is to be able to have one-on-one conversations that other people can witness, like, yo, this is what mental health care looks like. It's not always this clinical situation. There are black
Yeah.
healthcare workers. There are, black people who are willing to be vulnerable and go beyond that, false sense of masculinity and talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's actually what attracted me, is like, who is this dope brother who's being vulnerable, who's being discriminated? And there was just so many layers. So I just appreciate you sharing that moment, because when I went to go look at your profile, I was like, yo, this cat is hella positive. Like, I don't see anything on here that's
Yeah.
disrespectful, that's meriting, negative attention or whatever. So it seemed like it was an authentic moment. And I think it's important that
Yeah.
we have these cameras to share. You were able to share that.
Yeah.
So when people started saying that you were going viral after this situation, like, what was some of the response you were saying beyond like, yo, you're going viral? Like, were people concerned about you? Like, what were people responding to you after seeing you in a real situation like that?
Um, it was like it was
Okay.
two ways. The
Yeah.
like not like I said, like you know what's crazy about this? So before I missed my flight that day, by the
Okay.
way. Like this how I knew God was doing something for me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
I missed I got to the airport 2 hours early and I still missed my flight. That doesn't even make
Right.
any sense.
No.
So right, it doesn't make any sense. And that same spot that I was at last year,
Uh-huh.
when I missed my flight, I went to my flight. Like I said, I got there 2 hours early. So when I missed my flight, um I went to the same spot that the guy was harassing me. But the reason I went to that same spot last year because I went there by mistake. Nah, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Hold on. The reason I went to that same spot that the guy was harassing me because
Yeah.
last year I went there by mistake and I met Lee Daniels.
Oh, see,
Right?
okay, there's something magical about that area for you.
Exactly. Right. So it's like I went there and I was just chilling, just like I was chilling when the guy was bothering me. I
Yeah.
was just chilling and I looked up. This was last year. I looked up and a guy was taking pictures of me. And then I was like, oh, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know who he
Yeah.
was, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I looked closely and it was Lee Daniels.
Wow.
So, I talked to him, I got pictures with him, and he just told me like he doing me and he said I'm a big inspiration and like he's gonna use me for his like a movie inspiration and all that
Right.
stuff, positive. So
Yeah.
I missed my flight now, I missed
Mm,
my flight. So I'll go back to that same spot. I'm chilling.
mm.
I'm like, yo, what if I ran into Lee Daniels again? I'm just
Right.
saying like I'm just saying whatever, but I knew God let me miss that flight for a reason. I
Right.
knew God let me miss my flight for a reason. So
Right.
now like I said, like I posted it on the internet and it happened and then I landed in Nashville. So it's
Uh-huh.
like I said, I got two responses. I got
Okay.
people saying to me, like my close friends that got my number, they reaching out to me
Yeah.
like checking if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like
Right.
I'm good. Like I don't even know what that was. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
just put it out there. Like I don't even understand what it was. Like it's like I wasn't even doing it. It's like my spirit was doing it. Like,
I
I was
feel
like,
you.
I'm good. I just put it
Right.
out there. I don't, I wasn't even
Yeah.
checking it or nothing. And
Uh-huh.
then I got other people calling me like on Instagram. I had hundreds of messages. It was a lot of positivity. I got so much positivity. And I got people
Okay.
like trying to, like, yo, market yourself and stuff like that. I'm like, that's not what I'm about. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not trying to capitalize off of a moment like this. This isn't for me to capitalize. This is just what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna have
Right.
plenty moments like this to happen for me. That's positivity. God is just using me as an instrument to show you what goes on with people like me or the people that I represent for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I said,
Right.
I got two responses. I got people wanting me to capitalize off of it and people showing me a lot of love, but ultimately I just let it happen. A
Yeah.
little deep or
Yeah.
something.
Your people's
Yeah.
up in here. No, I that says a lot about your character because I think that some people are so obsessed with becoming, a viral sensation that they will exploit themselves, right? They will
Yeah.
exploit themselves. So to hear you actually share that, like, I kind of was being used beyond my own wherewithal in that moment. Like it was more of a spiritual
Yeah.
experience. I heard you say it was kind of like a almost like a detox in that moment to where you can just
Yeah.
purge and be honest and share. And that's kind of like what a self-journalist does. Like you're willing to sacrifice being embarrassed or being whatever just to show the full story. And to me, that
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
seem exploitive, right? You get attention everywhere you go. So I don't
Yeah.
I don't see it like you're starving for it as much because you attract that energy. But I think it was
Yeah.
beautiful because I've heard a lot of people, especially Black people, say, well, if you would dress a certain way, you wouldn't get harassed. Or if you didn't
Yeah.
speak a certain way, people wouldn't single you out. And I think this was like a divine example because I've seen people say, well, I dress my sons in cardigans and, khakis and they don't,
Yeah.
and then same people will get profiled and go through all this
Mm-hmm.
mental and emotional turmoil and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it would happen. Yeah, it would happen to anybody.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
brother in a top hat, a brother in a hoodie, a brother in a business suit are
Yeah.
all susceptible, to this cultural environment. So now let's kind of rewind because I felt like that was like the current topic and how I kind of got introduced to you
Yeah.
and your work. But then I went and researched you and I was like, yo, who is this cat? Like, this is the most exciting profile I've seen in a long time. It's not typical. It's very rare. And so I want to kind of rewind and let your appreciators who are throwing all the love up and the hearts up and showing their appreciation for you. I kind of want to go down your journey because the few things I learned that is you're from Belize. So you're born in another place. You've come here
Yeah.
to America. You're a performing artist, and I saw kind of your evolution into your style. So can I get a little
Yeah.
of your history on, tell me about Belize and what brought you to America and your art form and your
Yeah.
fashion. Like, let's get into that, and then we'll get into some more, mental and emotional health. Tell me your history.
Word. Got shout out to my boy D Gmo and Littles just signed in.
What's up, fam?
So Belize is my home. I really got to give all the credit to my mom and dad, Marianna, because honestly, it ain't me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
God. So I feel like
yeah.
Belize was really good though. It's like I've you know what, like I have always had everything in my life. You know what I'm saying? I've always had everything, and I was always content with like nothing too.
Yeah.
Because the nothing was everything to me.
Right,
Like
right.
I always had a good family, so it's like my mom and dad, we were really good in Belize, and my family and my brothers, we were really, really good. But
Good.
they just knew that America had a better education for us.
Okay.
We
Okay.
had a better education in America. And my uncle, he preached that. Like he says he was living in America at that time. He was like, you guys
Okay.
need to come to America young. The
Okay.
kids need to be here young,
Okay.
so it was a hard transition because I stay in Texas, and Texas, I always thought that Texas was like horses and the little hay, the little
Right.
hay that blows by in the
Yeah.
movies and stuff, like John Hay movies, because that's all they
Yeah.
showed us.
Right.
But when I came, it was not that at all. It was buildings and cars, and so like I was like, oh,
Yes,
this is
indeed.
this is this is not a desert. It's like real. It's like New York because I always
Right.
wanted to be in New York. I
Okay.
just wanted to be in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, oh,
Right.
Texas is New York. There's big, tall buildings because Belize don't have none of that. It's
Okay.
huts and houses like that are small. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a third world country. So
Right.
like I said, I got to give all the credit to my mom and dad, man, because
Right.
they brought me over here. They supported me. They always
How
made
old
me
were you?
believe that
How old were you when you
I
came? How
was
old were you?
10.
10. Okay.
I was 10,
Okay.
and I didn't really speak English that well, like
Okay.
it was hard, it was really
Hmm.
hard, but like I said, like I just suppressed all that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm here now, and I can't complain, because I'm one out of literally everybody from my whole
Yeah.
school that came to America. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Right.
I'm the only kid that came to America from my school basically at that time,
Right. Right. So, but
which
I
you would
want to
call
ask
the
you about
states, the
that.
forum.
I want to ask you about what were you suppressing? Like, what was difficult? Because 10 years old is a big rites of passage time for any young person,
Yeah.
right? Like, 10 is like a big change. But what were you suppressing? Like, what mentally and emotionally was that experience like? Beyond you being grateful, what was
Yeah.
difficult in transitioning from your country to America as a young Black man?
Well, it's a feeling that I can't quite explain. I still get it every once in a while, but I feel
Yeah.
like it's just that I miss home or something.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah.
Old school Rasta in the building. I don't understand what the feeling is. I can't explain it that well.
Yeah.
And I used to get it a lot though, but now I barely get it. But every time
Yeah.
like I think about home or like I think about something, it's like I feel like it's like a deep, like it's almost depressing.
Yeah.
It's like I would never get that ever again. Like I'll never get that back. It's like
Yeah.
I left, and
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
feeling comes over me, but it doesn't stay long. It doesn't stay
Okay.
long. It used to as a kid,
Okay.
because I mean, I'm in America now as a kid that I'm 10 and I don't have no friends.
Yeah.
I'm at a middle school. I'm at a middle school, and middle school is the worst. So it's like
They hard. They hard.
it's
They
I don't
gangsters.
know.
Them young kids is
Yeah,
gangsters.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. So it's
Right.
like, but yeah, that was the feeling. It's like it was the feeling is like a deep, like depressing feeling that I just used
Yeah.
to get. I still, like I said, I get it every once in a while, but it's like I just can't explain it. It just makes me feel
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I and like I could see, it's like I could see the feeling. It's like I could
Yeah.
see it. It's weird.
Well, you know, it's
It's
it
weird.
when children are familiar with their surroundings, you can tell them like we're going to a better place for all these reasons. It's still what the child
Yeah,
knows. Like it's your life, it's everything. And so it's sometimes when adults are making decisions, even if it is for our higher good, like we don't have that vision. We don't, all we know is I don't
yeah,
speak this language. I don't have any of my friends. The food tastes funny. I don't know none of these people at this mean ass school, right? There's
yeah.
there's so many thoughts, you know, that are going on. So even though the feeling started, you kind of, you know, got a little bit more accustomed. What were the things coming to America that, you know, you did help you to transition? You know, how did you go about, do you remember your first best friend? Did you have a teacher? Like what helped you to smooth through this transition from being a young boy from Belize to now, you know, living in America? What helped to transition you in?
Do I remember any teachers from Belize or from
From
America, like
America,
as
like
a
coming
kid?
here, like was there something that helped you to get grounded in this new culture? You were going
Oh
through a
yeah,
culture
yeah, yeah,
shock.
for sure.
Yeah.
I quickly became like, cause in Belize, I was like, I was very spoiled in Belize, like,
Ah.
cause my mom and dad had everything. I literally had like maids and
Oh,
like
oh,
it was
oh,
like I had it made. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Literally,
oh,
so like
okay. A brother had
coming
made
here, it
bro.
was like different. Like we
Yeah.
wasn't like super super rich, but we had it
Right.
made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my mom and dad both had high positions there, but when I came here, it's like say if I was in Belize, I'll probably be living like the rich, but if I came here, I'll be living like middle class or a little below middle class, you know?
Right. Your spoiled ass was like, wait a minute, we came here to live more struggle.
Yeah, like what's going on, So
Right.
but I met really good friends. Like I had a friend, like one of my best friends, his name was Tremaine. He showed me like the black culture,
Okay.
the real way. Like gave me his old clothes. Even though he was like my little bro, he was super
Yeah.
tall. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he gave me his old clothes. He gave me
Okay.
his old clothes, but it was like the old Rockaware or like the old
Right.
South Pole,
He's like, I'm gonna give you a
and
little something. You gotta work with what you got. You gotta work with what you got.
yeah. And like I said, I met people because I always had like that energy in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always been
Yeah.
like this. I like ever since I can remember, I thought the same for some reason. Like
Yeah.
I always thought progressive thinking, like how could I infiltrate the popular kids? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I gotta be
Yeah.
popular. As soon as I know there was something called popular, I was like, I gotta be that. You know what I'm saying? Like in school.
Like
So
all
I
eyes on
tried
you.
basketball, all
Yeah.
that. I got
Yeah.
cut from the team. Then they put me on the C team. But even though they put me on the C team,
Uh-huh.
I was still cool with that. As long as I was on the
Yeah.
team and I could be out
Right.
there and try to get the girls and stuff like that, I was cool with
Yeah.
that.
He's
So
like, hey,
I
I
could
can
see
work
how
with what
like
I got. I'm gonna work with what I got.
exactly. I never wait for the perfect moment. I take the moment and I make it perfect.
You know what?
So
That seems like a reoccurring theme for you. Like surrendering to from like surrendering to the moment from the airport, surrendering to the
yeah,
moment from like, I know I'm an extrovert, I'm gonna work with what I got. I'm starting to see this theme in your personality where
yeah,
you're clearly
yeah,
an extrovert and you
yeah.
know how to show up, but you're gonna work with what you got. Phone calls, I'm sorry. So it sounds like you got your first taste of fashion with the little big homie hit you up with some
Yeah,
fashion threads. Like even it was kind of throwback, you have that throwback.
yeah.
It sounds like that's where you got a taste of fashion, and then getting involved in school, you started understanding your personality. Is this kind of where the rites of passage starts to get into style and your flavor? Is this where you start to realize like, I'm like an icon living right now? Like, is this where it begins, or does it come a little later? How does that
It
work out?
comes way later. It comes
Okay.
way later.
Okay. Okay.
I never thought I'd be like a fashion icon or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
now
indeed.
I wholeheartedly believe that I am a fashion icon now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But like
Yeah.
Back then, no, heck no. But I always, you know what? That's a lie. You know what? That's a lie because I influenced like the people like in Texas, like in Austin, like I influenced everybody. Not only to
Right.
like be themselves now, like
Right.
be yourself, whatever yourself takes you to,
Right.
but also like when like back in the days when it wasn't cool to like mismatch stuff and
Yeah.
like wear whatever you want but still look
Yeah.
dope. I was the
Yeah.
first one doing that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know that's
Like
right.
and nobody and everybody
Listen.
was on me like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like, why you dressed
Okay.
like that and stuff like that? I was like, this, trust me, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
this is gonna help me not care for what I'm about to be later on in the future. I don't know what you
Okay.
gonna be. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I don't know. I ain't saying that it's wrong to work at a Walmart or wrong to work at a Walgreens or nothing like that.
Right.
But I want to own the Walgreens. You know
I
what I'm
know
saying?
that's right.
I want to own the Walmart.
Right.
So I'm going into that direction of
Right.
be yourself because the originals work more than a copy.
I know that's right. So around this time, what you're like in high school now, you're starting to come into this realization that you have your own original style and you're willing to kind of push the pen even if your friends don't accept it. What age was that realization coming to you?
In high school, I was still a follower.
Okay.
Um, but I was the leader amongst everybody, you know.
Okay. Okay.
But because who I'm looking up to is like I'm following like the little Waynes and stuff like that. Like I'm already thinking like I'm Little Wayne in them. You know, I'm not even
Right.
thinking like on a high school level like these people.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay.
ninth grade and 10th grade, I wasn't all the way popular yet. You
Okay.
know, I was I was kind of known, but I wasn't popular. 11th grade and 12th grade, I was the most popular kid,
Right.
definitely, because I was like the best dancer. So
Right.
I had the most style with it, like just movement. So it's just like
Right.
everybody just wanted to be around me.
Right.
And that
Right.
was also a blessing. So after I graduated, that's
Hmm.
when I start like doing the style thing, because it's like
Yeah.
now I'm in college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm seeing different stuff. I'm reading different stuff.
Yeah. You're getting
Even though like I was like
exposed.
a bad
You're
boy.
exposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the word. I'm being exposed. And a lot of my friends, they didn't go to college. So
Okay.
we all went to community college for sure, just
Okay.
so we can get that check.
Yeah.
That
It's
what's that
real.
check called?
Your
That
financial aid.
that yeah, you get that financial aid check,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
then after that, after they got that check, they quit school. I kept going.
Right.
So then I went to a university, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then I graduated to be on the dean's list, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Now, what was your
I
course of
kept leveling
study?
up.
What was your course of
I
study along the way?
first I was studying criminal justice
Okay.
because
Okay.
I just picked something to pick something because my mom
Okay.
said,
Okay.
you got to go to college. You got to get the
You
hell out
better
of my
do
house.
something. Right. Right.
So I just picked criminal justice. But then when my mom seen that I didn't like criminal justice,
Okay.
um, she put me in an acting class.
Oh, that sounds like we're
And
on to something. Mom's was on to
you know what I'm
something. Shout
saying?
out to mom.
You
Shout out
know,
to mom.
exactly. And I was like, man, I don't want to be in no damn acting class. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I was like, damn, man. So I remember the teacher, his name is Dr. Yekel or
Okay.
Yekel. And my mom puts me in this acting class
Okay.
and I'm like, I I'm literally I stay out all night, you know what I'm saying? I'm just running the streets, but my acting class is like at 9 or 8 in the morning, so I'm always
Oh,
sleeping class.
okay.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Oh man, you're that dude. You that
I'm
dude.
that kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude, right? So it's like
Yeah.
my teacher one day was like, "Oh, so Lamar, it's time for you to do your presentation."
Uh-oh.
I was like, "Presentation?" I'm like, "Damn, what presentation we have?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-oh.
I don't even know we had a presentation.
Uh-oh.
So I just go down there and I like freestyle rap and beatbox, and I do better than everybody. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? I just improv it.
You
I
see?
just kill it.
Yeah.
So I was safe for like that next week or two. It's like acting one, you know. So I was
Yeah.
safe for that next week because everybody else got to perform. So my
Okay.
teacher came to me and said, so we about to do Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream, and I want to give you a lead role as Lysander. I said, what? No, I want to play the fairy because the fairy don't get no roles. The fairy don't got to do nothing. You just got to stand there. And he was like, I want you to be Lysander. You know,
Wow.
I want you to make an impact. I want you to do a main role. And
Yeah.
I was so mad, man. Everybody else was like, oh my God, why did you give him that role? He doesn't even care about this
That
class. He
teacher
just
saw
sees.
something. That teacher saw something that you didn't
Exactly.
see.
I didn't. I did not. And that's why I remember him. You know what I'm saying? I remember people that seen something in me. And
Yeah.
he gave me the role. He gave me the role, Mariana, and I didn't even care for it. You know what I'm saying? At
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Tell my
What happened? Something happened.
tell
Something
my
happened.
my what you call it? My the actress, like the actress, I forgot who the actress was, but she got on my ass one day. She was just like, yo, you better get your roles together because my family's coming to see this
Oh,
play and I
oh,
don't want to mess up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, because during rehearsal, I don't do nothing. This is a 3 hour acting class, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
I just don't
Right.
do anything. Like, I just read the lines, like whatever. And then this is when, like, I think that transformation came in me with the acting
Okay.
scene because the college, because I was like, I went home one day and
Uh-huh.
because they just was making me. It wasn't so much that I cared about the role. I cared about how I'm finna look
Right.
in front of these people.
The
You know what I'm
fashion
saying?
came before your acting chops, clearly. You was worried about the costume before the actual acting.
You feel me? So it's like
Right.
I went home and I studied Shakespeare. I still remember it to this day. Outside on the street on Magazine Street, I studied for 13 hours
Whoa. And what
nonstop. I studied for
happened?
13 hours, and I came back the next 2 days,
Yeah.
and I knew all my lines.
Okay, so
I knew
now
all my lines.
something's beginning to happen with you.
Yeah. And it's
It,
like
it's
my
it
teacher,
sounds like you had a natural gift, but the
yeah,
importance of actually applying yourself had to come from people that were working with you like, yo, yeah, you're talented naturally, but if you apply yourself, it's going to take you to
yeah,
another level. It did it?
yeah, yeah. It took me to definitely took me to another level because now, well, not even now, but like even back then, it's like I was like, oh, I love this acting shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like this is the new wave. You know what I'm saying? Like having lines. Like I can't wait to tell all the girls these lines. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
broke
it's
out some
about the
Shakespeare
lines
on the
to me.
sisters. You busted out with the Shakespeare
Yeah,
on the
like
sisters.
oh, I was doing Shakespeare all over, like because it's like it's no longer cool to me. It wasn't no longer cool being like just a hood nigga, you know? It's like
Right. Again, that
that's not
exposure, more exposure.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So let me
yeah,
ask you this. Is this where the beginning of your fashion, because there's definitely a brother Shakespearean twist. Is this where you're getting bits and pieces now? And it like, because it seems like you ain't took the costume off since you finally realized you like acting after that Shakespeare play. So transition me from being this natural born, leader and extrovert to finally honing in on
yeah,
your craft, mom believing in you, trusting that there's something more, you kind of resisting a little bit, but then you finally realize like,
yeah,
yo, these people are pulling at me for a reason. Then you surrender to this process and you
yeah,
realize like, yo, I am an entertainer, I'm an actor, and it happens to be
yeah.
Shakespeare. How does this affect who you and how your style is now? Like, does it just keep going from there? What happens?
Yeah, it definitely keeps culminating, but it wasn't there yet. Like
Okay.
I still wasn't dressing like this. I was still dressing like a hood nigga, but I was dressing like the livest of the hood niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
like
Okay.
it was the hood nigga phase was getting tailored. You know, I was tailoring the hood nigga
You was
phase. You know,
extra. You
so
was the extra. You had a little extra on it.
yeah, like I would like dress up with the J's, but the pants wouldn't be as baggy. The pants would be fitted, and it would be like
Okay.
a polo shirt now instead of like a long white tee. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I still have the
Okay.
grilling, but you know what I'm saying. I'll be more kept. You know, and
Okay. Okay.
you know what? Before I go into this, I
Yeah.
remember this story, right? One day I was outside. I had left acting class, and I used to sag a lot. Like I used to sag like super sag,
Super
you know. And
sag.
there was this spot that I used to, yeah, I was super sag, Mariana. Like there's this spot I used to go hang out at, like at the
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
and I used to always be there, being loud, you know, getting all the attention, you know. And this old black man came to me one day, and he was like, "Man, you could be so much more, but you over
Mm.
here looking stupid, sagging your
Mm.
pants and stuff. You making the community look bad. Look at you. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Why don't you pick your pants up? You know?"
Mm.
And he's saying this like in front of all my friends. So of course I gotta be a young, disrespectful idiot to look cool in front of
Okay.
my friends.
Right.
You know? And so I'm like, nigga, look what you got on. You know what I'm saying? You talking about pick our pants up, look what you got on, you know?
Right.
So he's like, man, you young brothers is just making us look bad. You just don't understand. And I was like, I brushed him off or whatever, and he walked away. But
Yeah.
even though I'm laughing with my friends, deep inside, I didn't like that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like that.
What was that feeling? Describe that mentally and emotionally. What was that feeling?
I felt disappointed. I felt disappointed that
Mm.
that like our people, well, an older black man is
Right.
looking down upon me because he know that I'm the leader of these other people. He ain't talk everybody else
Right.
sagging too, but you can't me.
Again,
You know what I'm
somebody
saying?
seeing something in you. Again, another theme.
Yeah,
Someone seeing something powerful in you. Okay. So what do you do with
yeah,
that? I know on the exterior you played the hardcore jokester, but how does this transform you to feel like, there's an elder? Clearly you had some space in you that still honored elders. Was that maybe from your upcoming
yeah, yeah. Of
beliefs and
course,
your
I'm always
family?
respectful.
Okay.
I'm
So what
always,
happens after that realization of that observation that he brought to you? What changes with you?
I didn't quite change then, but I knew that I
Okay.
was going to. You know, I just
A
needed a
seed.
smooth way to do it.
A
Yeah,
seed was planted. Okay. So I'm glad the
and
OG said something to you. I'm glad.
you know what's crazy, Mariana? A year later, just before I'm about to pretty much like go to like other schools and stuff, I see that same man, and but I'm well kept now. Like I'm not sagging, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll have a grill in my mouth, you know, like
Yeah.
I'm looking nice, you know, and I go to him,
Did he
and
recognize
I
you?
was like,
Did he recognize you?
nah, he didn't know who I was. He didn't even know who I was. And I was like,
Wow.
yo, sir. I said, you don't know me. Cause I used to remember he said I had this little briefcase. And I remember him like, I
Yeah.
remember somebody that, you know what I'm saying, get on me, you know?
Right.
So I
Yeah.
went to him, and I was like, sir, you don't remember me, but you told me to, you admonished me a few like a year ago. You told me to get my shit together, all that stuff. And he was like, well, I don't remember you, but you look really good, son. Keep going. And I was just like,
Wow.
I would love for him to have remembered me, but the
Yeah.
fact that he didn't, that transform my whole self, you know what I'm saying, was still a
Yeah.
great feeling.
Wow. But you know what I'm learning about you in this conversation is that you're open to, I mean, even though in that moment you might have clowned around, because you were around your friends, but you're
Yeah,
very aware of opportunities that are kind of like happening around you that can be opportunities for
yeah,
transformation, right? Because I'm
yeah,
again, I'm really big on reoccurring themes and how like mentally and emotionally like they show up in our
yeah,
lives. So even from like your mom and the acting, and then your friend in your acting class like, yo, you need to take this seriously, and a random elder like, even though
yeah,
maybe it took a moment for that seed to blossom, it seems like you've been open-minded to take
Yeah.
that in instead of pushing it away. And it seems like that's like helped you to get to where you are in life. So
Yeah.
now where does this start leading into you actually finding your style? And how do you get from this acting and understanding your power of leadership and influence? Like, how does that start transforming you into the man that we are all, witnessing your iconic style and your performance art through your style? Like, how did get me from that point to today?
Yeah. There was, it was a pivotal, there's a pivotal moment because there was this other acting teacher which I feel like is my Stella Adler. That means Stella
Yeah,
Adler's the like one of the best acting teachers like ever. Like the
yeah,
Stanislavskis and the Stella Adlers.
yeah, yeah.
Her name was Shelby Brammer, Miss Shelby, and Marcus McQuitter. These two teachers, I feel emotional because I went to her one day, and I was like, I joined her acting class, right? I took her
Uh-huh.
acting class,
Hmm.
and my mom put me in her class. It was like a summer class. I didn't want to take
Okay.
that either. My mom put
Okay.
me in, and I took the class. I met some people. It was cool with the blah blah blah. But she really left an impact on me. She made me believe that I could be an actor, but not only like an actor, but somebody in the world. She
Right.
made me feel like I could be somebody in the world,
Right.
and I I love that lady for that. And I took her, like I said, I took her class, and she put me in my first legit play.
Wow.
She put me in my first legit play, the Charles Bukowski play. And
Okay.
the crazy thing is I didn't know nothing about plays, so I didn't know what a callback was, right?
Okay.
Because it says audition there and callback.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went I didn't go to auditions because I thought I just said I ain't gonna go to auditions. I'm gonna go to callback because it's 2 days. But I didn't know that you got to go to auditions and then the next
Yeah.
day is a call. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So
Okay.
I showed up on callback. I totally missed auditions.
Right.
And
Right.
so
Dang.
I show up, and Miss Shelby is like, Lamar, where the hell were you? You know what I'm saying? I was like, what you mean I'm here? I'm here and
I'm
I'm
at the
early.
thing,
She's
right?
like, no, auditions was yesterday.
Oh
I was like, no,
no.
look, it says right here, auditions today and callback today. She's like, said she explained to me what that means.
Right.
And I was like, damn, man.
Damn.
Like, just when I was starting to like this acting shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I could be somebody. I fucked it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I immediately started thinking, like, man, fuck this shit. I'm about to just be bad again. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not be bad, but
Yeah.
like, I'm just about to rebel because this is on me again. Like, man,
Yeah.
you ain't shit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Like
But
a
Miss
feeling,
Shelby,
like feeling defeated, feeling like
yeah,
defeated in that moment.
definitely. That's
Yeah.
the
Okay.
perfect word. I felt defeated. And I feel like when you start feeling defeated, like the devil can come and creep in and take over your thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And start
man.
controlling you. So that's a very scary place to be, yeah,
Right.
at any age. But luckily, Miss Shelby was like, she's like, just come in, just come in. I was like, but I missed auditions, Miss Shelby. She's like, just come in, don't worry, just come in. I was like, I missed auditions. She's like, shut up. I have a
Get
role
bring
for
your
you
ass in
anyway.
here, boy.
Yeah, so I didn't even notice, but Miss Shelby had already wrote a whole role for me. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
So I didn't even have to damn near audition. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even have to audition. I had a
Wow.
role already because
All
she
you had to
seen
do was
something
show
in me. You
up.
know what I'm saying? And you starting to make me understand that even more. So through that
Good.
role, I
Yeah.
met through that role in that play, Marcus McQuitter me my next acting teacher, and then that's who put me in this play in the 1920s, and then that's how this style started coming together.
Bam. Wow.
Yeah,
First of all, okay, wait. If this cuts off, we're gonna sign back on because we still gotta,
yeah, for sure.
close out because I can't believe a whole hour went by already. But
Oh, for real?
okay, yeah, like that. that's how refreshing combos go. The organic gets to flowing and the authentic organic comes
That's
out. You know,
crazy.
storytelling is beautiful. That's my art form of storytelling. So
Yeah,
we make it groove real smooth. But I can't help but see how opportunity kept knocking at you, even if you didn't realize
yeah,
it, but you kept like it's for you. You ever hear the OG say
yeah,
like if it's
yeah,
for you, it's
yeah,
for
yeah,
you? Like, and I'm glad you
yeah,
made that realization just in going through your life timeline and your evolution into who you are. I think it's really powerful that you're like, yo, I'm realizing this as I'm telling it, because I think that happens a lot of the times when people get caught up in depression. Like when you said you
yeah,
felt defeated, right? And you said something very powerful, like if that's a really, bad place to stay. And I think sometimes that happens where people don't realize like the defeat is actually a part of the journey. It's how you
yeah,
respond to it, because you could be so with your head down feeling defeated that you miss the opportunities that are actually coming through the defeat. And look at that. In one breath, you were ready to count yourself out, and your teacher's like, yo, pay attention, get out of your feelings and your mental and emotional pain for the moment. It's for you. There's something
mhm,
for you that actually that came out. I bet you
yeah.
never missed another audition after that.
Never, never, never,
so
never.
so
I just
you
had
get
to learn.
casted you get casted into this amazing production, which totally
Mhm.
changes your fashion and who you are. So how does this role give us what we have in your artistic showmanship now?
Yeah. The role was I was a character called Nad Coles,
Okay.
and he wore a suit. I never really was wearing no suit ever, like I never
Okay.
wore like a three-piece suit every day.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
had to be in character, so I had to wear a three-piece suit every day.
Wow.
And that started just changing me. Like, what? This is different. I feel
Right.
like a grown man or something. Like I feel different. Like it literally, like Dapper Dan always says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter how much money you got. Once I go downtown and from Harlem, once I go downtown with a three-piece suit, a garment can transform my whole being. And these people that got
Wow.
money, they wouldn't even know that I don't got nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because
Your
this
confidence.
garment is like it's a protector. It's
Right.
like you don't even
Right.
know. So I started to, like I said, I started to feel different. Like I wanted to hang out with my same hood nigga friends, but I
Right.
wanted to be in a suit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm James St. Patrick or something. Like I want to be in a suit now, bro. Like
And
I'm
so
trying to get them on that, but
how
of
are your
course they
peers
wasn't on that.
responding? How are your peers responding to your transformation that you're obviously going through? Because for a person to transform on the outside, it's a clear indication that there's a transformation going on the
Yeah.
inside. So how are your friends responding to you mentally and emotionally with all these changes you're going through?
Very negatively. Very,
Okay.
very, very
How does that
negatively.
affect you?
You know what? To be honest, I felt like I felt like since I was so young minded, I just felt like, man, y'all niggas hating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't even talk to those people no more. It's like they they used to say like, oh bro, you dressing gay.
Mm,
Like shit like
right.
that. Like
Right.
what? That doesn't even
Right.
make sense, bro. I'm just like a boss now. Like I would tell them, yo, come to my play. Because
Right.
I'm still in the hood. I'm still in the hood and I'm still doing dumb shit and I'm still in
Mm,
school, but I'm getting good grades now
right.
and I'm balancing two different life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it like
Wow.
I'm still popular in the streets still.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
popular at school too. Like I'm
Right.
balancing two different life. You know what I'm saying? And
Now, did that
I feel
start
like I'm
to,
doing it fairly well.
yeah, did it start to wear you down, like feeling like, okay, did you feel like you had to choose? Because I think sometimes Black people, when we're having our experiences, we have to
Yeah.
put up these two personas, in order to survive. Now, do you feel like you had to choose? Like, what happens once you clearly recognize you're kind of like living two lives?
Yeah. At that point, now of course that's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because you really who you surround yourself with. You know what I'm saying? So, but at that point, I
Yeah.
was I was the subconscious inspiration for them that there's more. You know?
Exposure. You were exposure for
Yeah,
them.
because I'm trying
Okay.
to teach them. I'm trying to teach them what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm learning. But it also was a fuel for me. Like
Okay.
once I once I once I leave rehearsal, like I just felt like, yo, this is so dope. I gotta go to rehearsal. Like
Yeah.
I gotta go to rehearsal, I gotta go to rehearsal. I gotta go get my outfit changed and stuff. While I'm with my hood friends, I'm telling them just
Right.
like, yo, I gotta go to rehearsal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna give me a ride? Like who
Right.
gonna give me a
Yeah.
ride to rehearsal? Like
Right.
it just feels lit. It just feels different, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like a
Yeah.
famous actor, but I'm still in the hood with my friends.
Right.
So it fueled me because it's like as soon as I left rehearsal, my acting friends, they just don't understand my lingo and how I talk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't understand what the streets is like. How they don't understand how to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
At that point, they was like actors. But
Yeah.
even though they was like black and they was like really into the arts, they was already
Yes.
doing this. They was doing this for years now. This is my second play. This is their
Right.
15th play.
Right.
Like
Right.
they take everything serious. I just have it naturally. So, to me, I could do both.
Right.
Like
Right.
I I could I could leave rehearsal and know my lines by tomorrow because that one time I studied for 13 hours, I thought that was already like what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So it sounds
So I
like you
would just do
developed
that.
like a work ethic. You developed a certain work ethic that because of your natural ability and applying yourself, you
Yeah.
were kind of flying these folks that were in it for the long time. You was in there smashing on them with your natural
Yeah.
efforts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm really grateful for that. I'm really, really
Man.
grateful for that.
Man.
But
So
eventually, like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
sorry.
You said eventually
I
what?
said eventually I got away from all those people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when you start really leveling up, now you really can't. You don't got no time for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because now
right. And
it's
how did they
it's getting
respond
serious.
to
Like
that?
y'all are going to jail.
How did they respond to you having this new value in this new environment? Like, because sometimes, you get when you start to change and transform, people that may not necessarily understand your transformation, they make you try to make you feel guilty. Oh, you think you're better, or you ain't got time for this, or you're forgetting where you come from. Like, did you get any of that? Like, what was that like,
Oh
kind of,
yeah.
transitioning out of being around those friends in that environment so much?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I definitely got that.
How did you deal with
But
that?
it's like I was already like watching like I don't even know why I was watching like motivational people, but I was just
Okay.
watching them. I don't even know why. I
Okay.
feel like my brother was putting that in my ear already, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And
Right. Right.
I would say you would lose your peers and I don't understand none of this stuff. Like I said, it's just seeds getting planted. Like I don't really
Right.
understand it. I don't really see it. I don't really
Right.
see the hate for what it is in front of my face. But
Yeah.
when I start to really see it, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. These dudes is my best friends. Like, I don't understand. But a lot of them start going to jail. Some of them died.
Yeah.
And also, some of them just moved away. And they was
Yeah.
they and then I went to college. Like I went to
Yeah.
university, so I really wasn't around them
Right.
as much.
Right.
And
Right.
I started being even more celebrated because I'm in college. Like now I'm starting to get on like some little blogs about
Yeah.
fashion and style, like just like I'm starting to level up real slow. Slow progress is better than no progress, but I was at least
Absolutely.
making some type of progress.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I will, like I said, I will go back into the hood, but this time I'll come back with a camera and like record them to make them feel important as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I always wanted my friends to get the experience that I was feeling outside of that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
at like I said, like at one point it just all the way went down though, and I just God completely removed me because he's like, okay, That was fun, but now I have a bigger purpose, like a world purpose for you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I have
Yeah.
to completely remove them and you.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's what ended up
No.
happening, Marianna.
Wow. So it doesn't sound like you have what some people consider resentment. It sounds like you kept being placed in these opportunities and you were like, there was something greater happening, right? Because some people sometimes they'll be like, I'm not gonna go to the auditions. I want my friends to love me and I'm just gonna stay here, and whatever happens happens, because it's called survivor's remorse, where you
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
those friends getting locked up and getting killed, and kind of like this guilt thing. And it sounds like, even getting into like listening to the motivational speakers and stuff like that, you're constantly just evolving and evolving. And I think that that's really what I was picking up from you, when I was checking out your work and the art that you share and the motivation you share, because I think there's a lot of young Black boys and girls who want to express or take a path that might not be one that their friends understand or uplift or appreciate, and they just won't take it. And later on in life,
yeah,
when they're depressed or they're feeling like they don't have a purpose or a mission, it might be because they weren't willing to do what you were willing to do, is just be open-minded and to surrender to new things and
yeah,
explore. And I think that's a big thing when it comes to mental and emotional, like self-hatred and loathing, is that it's not always because
yeah,
of these traumatic events like, I lost everybody, or it might just be because we're not blossoming and growing. And what I'm getting from this
yeah,
refreshing
yeah,
combos is like, you've always been willing to surrender to the blossoming and the process, even if it
yes,
felt a little uncomfortable. And
yeah,
I just think that when we think of trauma, we always think of you had both your parents, you had support,
yeah,
you had family. It wasn't this typical trauma that mentally and emotionally would break you down, but you had these moments of defeat and feeling overwhelmed and wanting to give up, and somehow you fought past that and took the opportunity. So what do you do now? Like, before this thing tries to cut us off, when you do have moments like you had when I discovered you in the airport, in your drip, your Shakespearean hip hop flip twist, and people are stereotyping you or confused or saying crazy things, like you said, your friends, about your sexuality just based off of how you construct your flight. And it's
yeah,
like, I'm sure that because you still seem to be a sensitive man and in tune with your emotions, like, I'm sure you do
yeah.
have moments, no matter how confident you are. Like, when that happens, what do you do mentally and emotionally to recenter back to that space where you're like, yo, God has something bigger for me, and it's not about these fleeting emotions? Like, what works for you? Is there anything in particular you do to get rebalanced?
Yeah, I do affirmations.
Okay. What's one
I
of your
do.
favorite affirmations? Hit me with one of them.
Okay, so I have so many, like, and I
Okay.
have them in my head, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I had to, as an actor, it's like, I'm always constantly learning,
Yeah.
so that's, I always feel like the best actor. So there's one I do say though, and it's by,
Okay.
Shad Hemstetter,
Okay.
and it's called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself.
Okay. Break it down.
And it goes a little something like this. It says, I can do anything I believe I can do. I've got it, and every day I get more of it. I have talent, skills, and ability. I set goals and I reach them. I know what I want out of life. I go after it and I get it. People like me and I feel good about myself. I have a sense of pride in who I am and I believe in myself. Nothing seems to stop me. I have a lot of determination. I turn problems into advantages. I find possibilities in things that other people never give a chance. I have a lot of energy. I'm very alive. I enjoy life and I can tell it, and so can others. I keep myself up, looking ahead and liking it. I know that I can accomplish anything I choose, and I refuse to let anything negative hold me back or stand in my way. I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. I have strength, power, conviction, and confidence. I like challenges and I meet them head on, face to face. Today, especially, I'm on top of the world and I'm going for it. Say
Wait
that
a
every
minute.
day.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. thought you was gonna hit me with 2 lines. You broke down the whole play. Huh?
And
First of all,
that's just half of it. There's a whole
oh,
other
I'm
half that
sorry.
I
I
say
didn't
as
mean to cut
well.
you off.
No,
I'm sorry.
I was, I don't want to bore the audience,
No, no.
but
I'm sorry. First of
you
all,
know,
I felt pumped up. I'm ready to go achieve a goal. You know what? I can see exactly why you are who you are. I can see it, even though this is just
thank you.
through cyber world. That affirmation, that long ass, you didn't even finish affirmation, describe what you're living. Like you're embodying
Yeah,
that. And I think that that's so important
yeah,
because sometimes people say like affirmations are cheesy or, they're corny. And I'm like, there is nothing corny about speaking life into yourself. And I think
yeah.
that
What's
that
funny
is a
about
big
that?
part of combating depression. I know if I heard myself say that long breakdown every morning, I wouldn't be convinced to do anything else but to get up and do something productive with my life.
Yeah, yeah. Facts.
So let's let's recap because this was definitely a beautiful hour and an adventure. What I gathered from you is that despite, going through culture shock, despite having to go through the rites of passage that, Black men have to go to here in America, despite, being maybe from the hood and, maybe people having expectations that you're just going to let the community down and you're a disappointment. You were still open to listening to some of the criticisms and some of the constructive,
Hmm.
words that folks have for you. You were willing to try new things and be exposed to walks of life that were continually knocking at your door. You did have
Yeah,
support. And even despite, you having your moments of defeat, there was still something there and you surrendered to the process. And in closing, what
yeah,
I also got is that you get a lot of feedback being a different brother and having your own style, but you've worked really
yeah,
hard mentally and emotionally to fortify yourself and to know that everyone's opinion can't stop your purpose and what you're here for.
yeah,
And I think that's just
yeah.
it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's an important narrative. Um, what projects are you working on right now that people should be looking out that they could support?
I have a few projects. Some I can't really say
Okay, that's fine. I
because
ain't mad.
it's because it's like I actually when I'm getting official, hey, but
Yeah.
other than that, like you know, I'm not really working like people be capping like, oh, I got something big coming. It's like
Right.
I already know I got something big coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm working
Right.
on me. I'm the project. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I love
I'm
it.
literally the project. And I'm about to whatever
Very.
I'm about to walk to, y'all, you know what I'm saying? My audience and God knows it's about to be epic. I'm already putting out manifestations out there in the world. Like I'm always working on something. And
Yes.
I'm always
Yes.
trying to like advance and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's clean keeping my room clean on the daily, you know what I'm saying?
Hello. Thank you for
Whether
being
it's
down to
keeping my
earth.
bathroom clean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it's, everybody's always trying to accomplish something big and they're not realizing that life is made up of little things,
Absolutely. Not
so it's
everything
like
has to be a
these little
glamorous
things.
presentation to be successful. Success
Yeah,
is my workbook. I'm going to make sure to send you a shirt and a workbook. It's called Own Your Shit. And that's what it's about. It's like there's some deep core work and things that we got to own up to and work on. That's not glamorous, but it's what amounts to us being healthy and happy and safe and okay. And I appreciate that authenticity. So
yeah.
I have to ask you, as we close out, how do you feel after having this hour refresh session? What's the first vibes and how do you feel after having a mental and emotional health time travel through your experience?
I'm sad that we have to go so soon. Like it's been an hour for real. Like I wasn't even like, I feel like it wasn't even like done yet. Like I was like,
Right.
what? Like I
Yeah.
feel like
No.
good. Like, I was like, what? It's an hour? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Let's jump
And
back on. Let's talk.
what I tell a lot of clients when I do one-on-one work and when I do groups is that, when we're doing mental and emotional health, not all of it has to be this dark, dreary experience, right? Not
Yeah,
all of it is like, oh, so dramatic. Some of it is just
yeah,
refreshing our minds from our experiences, recapping the things that we've learned along the way, expressing them in safe spaces. Like, this is mental and emotional health work, and it doesn't have to be because
Yep.
we're always broken down and depressed. It can be just sharing our
Yeah, for sure.
experiences. And I think your resilience through being placed in different environments and learning how to
Yeah.
adapt and also be original and find yourself is something that a lot of people need to see and witness, because a lot of people are holding back from their purpose because they're not willing to try new things and
Mhm.
express themselves in different ways. And so that's something that I think is amazing. I'm glad, even though, and this was funny, even though my introduction to you was a sad moment, I'm so glad that you were willing to be vulnerable and be honest about that traumatic moment, so that it could lead
Yeah.
to this and more of you sharing your story. So I'm just grateful that we had this moment. I'm grateful that you shared your story and your transformation with everybody. And I'm just, thank you so much for having this hour with me. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you, for real.
Yeah,
This means a lot.
yeah.
Trust me.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with you, because I'm going to send you a care package with some own your shit gear. And I'm just going to be in touch with you. We might have to tap in and do this a little bit regularly along your journey, because you're an open
I
book.
agree.
Okay. Well, that's
I agree,
awesome.
yo. I
So
agree.
I
Super
don't
dope.
know if does your hat have a bedtime, or do you just wake up out the bed with a top hat on? How does this work? I feel like you got a top hat. Oh, the famous one. I want one of them stickers too. I'm gonna get me a top hat. Can I
I
get a
got
top
you.
hat?
Yeah, I got mad top hats, man. I got mad top hats. I got one for every. I got two a day. Littles. That's my
Oh
boy
my
Littles.
goodness.
That
Oh
you
my
in the
goodness.
building.
Well, I want to
Walk
be the
away
first one
smiling.
to cover your $1 million crib in your closet when you got a home
Thank
for
you.
all that stuff, and you gonna gloss off the black Willy Wonka flavor.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Mary? You know what, Marianna? I got you. Watch. I got you.
I want all the
For
breaking
real.
stories to your success, but I'll also be here to help you relieve the stress if you need a refresh session as well.
Yes.
So you
I
have a
appreciate
wonderful
that.
evening, and I will be in touch with you very soon. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Peace.